Hey, how's it going? Tim Sykes here. I hope you're having a good weekend. I just want to recap the month of November. It is good to go back over the past few days, over the past few weeks, and review your own trades and review other people's trades and see what's working. And I think by the end of this video lesson, that you'll understand that what's working is trading these crazy volatile supernova stocks. And there's a lot of them. It's kind of been overwhelming the past few days. If you hear me a little nasally, I've been traveling, I've been working with my charity, but I'm also just overwhelmed with the number of plays. And I'm overwhelmed right now with the number of students who are seeing, oh shit, this stuff actually is real. So whether you want to go long or short, mind you, and there's not like one right trade versus wrong trade, we're all different. And as I review several students and my own trades over the next few minutes, I hope you'll begin to see that you have to figure out a pattern that works best for you. Whether you want to go long on dips in the morning panic, like I like to do, or if you like shorting morning spikes into supernova parabolic type activity like Tim Grittani likes, or if you like holding for several days or weeks. There's swing trading too. So I just want to show you how a few of my top students and I are profiting in this market. It's pretty cool. Everyone is in the Tim Sykes Challenge chat room, alerting their stuff in real time. It is by far my favorite chat room these days. And obviously, I'm proud that it's my own chat room, but frankly, I'm a little surprised because a few years ago, the chat room, it was decent, but it wasn't all that great. And now several millionaire students, several six-figure students have emerged. And they are just crushing it, as you'll hear in a little bit. And by the end of this video lesson, if you understand what I'm saying, leave a comment underneath this video saying, I will trade volatile stocks. 4 words, because a lot of you guys are trading, choppy stocks or stocks that maybe have good products or good announcements, but they're not going truly supernova. If there's one thing I've learned over the years, these supernovas, which is a term I came up with, this is the way to making a lot of money, because even if you capture a small piece of the move, you can bank, which, is one of the best lessons from some of my recent best trades where I haven't traded perfectly anywhere close to it. But when I have focused on the patterns that I have come to know and love, I've done okay. And even if I take a small chunk of the move, because these stocks are so volatile, it can add up fast. So here's one example. EKSO. I missed the big up move here. It was pathetic. This is a play that I've made 70 grand on in the past, trading from a yacht in the British Virgin Islands. By the way, my top students and I will be on Below Deck again this coming Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a fun show. Don't take it so seriously. And in this week's episode, you will see me and my top students get in a champagne spray fight. And it's a fun. Don't get all offended by us spraying champagne all over the precious yacht. I also surprised them with 2 schools in their honor. I don't know if the TV show is going to show that. I think that's a little too noble for this TV show. I don't know how they're going to work that in. But you will see a champagne spray fight. I guarantee you that. Anyways, EKSO, fantastic press winner where they were rumored to do this deal with Ford, and really we haven't gotten any details. The stock spiked up big as Bloomberg and I think Fox covered it, and then it's come straight down. This is a potential dip buy though. If we get more Ford details or any other details, this thing can bounce. So definitely continue watching that. But let me get into some students here. Here's Roland. He made $106,000 in November. All of his trades detailed. If anybody says, they made X amount or Y amount, you need to see the trade details, okay? Don't just show me a screenshot. Don't just show me, one trade. Like, you can see how this all added up to 106,000. And on Profitly, you can actually sort it. His biggest gain was right here on EKSO. He likes going long. That's cool. And he nailed EKSO. He nailed the GLBS. He nailed CERC. And DCIX and LRTTF. There are so many freaking plays right now. It's insane. So props to Roland on his gains. His biggest losses, look at this. He has losses, But look at how he's cutting his losses. And even now, he says, but did not cut quickly enough. You see his gains, $10, $20, $30,000. Losses of 2,000, 1,000, 300. He has gotten very good at protecting his gains. And that is why he's turned this year now 4,000 into 400,000, winning just 64% of the time. A lot of people are shocked by this because you see the profit chart going straight up. It's like, how is this possible? Because he controls his losses. So props to you, Roland. Congrats. Fantastic work. Here's my trades. I made roughly $10,000 on the month. Not my best month at all. In fact, one of my worst months. But I've been traveling in Asia, just trading in the middle of the night and then doing charity all day. It's a stress. It's tough. And EKSO was the gimme. It fit my pattern. It's a stock I've done well on. And I screwed up. I hesitated. I missed it. And then I didn't want to chase it. And, that's, again, I'm trading with a small account. I'm not going to make 100,000, but I would have been happy with like 20 or 30,000. But you can't go back in time. All you can try to do is do better. My biggest gain on the month was GLNNF. This was the other day, and this was one where I was dip buying the morning panic. Let me show you this, GLNNF. And dip buying panics has become my recent favorite. I have hundreds of video lessons on this, literally. You can see here, going straight up, big morning panic. I bought this morning panic. I got in here on the 180s. I nailed the dip, and I sold way too soon. This was a 50% bounce, and even now on day 4, this is a 40% bounce, 40% bounce. I took 10% profits. I did not time it great on my exit. It was the middle of the night for me in Asia, and just sucked. And I'm not making excuses, but I bring it up because I want to show you what I did right and wrong. And I have a whole, I think, like 30-minute video lesson on that trade. So watch it. That was my best trade of the month. IZA, this was a nice little earnings winner that I dip bought, and this one sold this one way too soon. Again, on my biggest profits, the funny thing is that I'm not like trading them perfectly. I'm buying this thing, I'm making my 10, 12%. Bought it at 375, out at 420. The next day, I think it got even up to 6. So it came down eventually. Let me see. When was this? This was a little while ago. Was it more than 14 days ago? Or was that the spike? No, it was here. It was back here. And it got, you can't see it, but it did get up to 6, either after hours or pre-market. And then it came all the way down. So there was actually I dip bought the initial dip on the earnings win after hours. But then even like day 2, it came all the way down to 389 before on day 4 bouncing up. I mean, this little bounce here, this is a 30% bounce. And then if you want to hold it longer, excuse me, I'm still not feeling 100%, but I'm trying to get better. If you want to hold it longer for, the dip buy and the earnings win several weeks, okay, look at this. You buy it at, let's say, you're not going to time the exact bottom, but let's say you buy it at 4-ish. You can flip it here at 530. This is another 30% win. So there's a lot of opportunity on IZEA. And I did not time it perfectly. EKSO, I did catch a little long the other day on a big morning panic, and that was a good little dip buy. In HMNY, I got a dip buy too. All of these, actually. Wow, every single one of my top 4 plays of the month were dip buys. So I didn't even know that until I just made this video lesson. So if you wonder, why am I doing dip buys on a lot of morning panics? Well, here it is. 4 good trades. Did not take them as much as I could have, but I still profited. And then my biggest losses, let's see if this will load. Not on the best Wi-Fi either. My losses, the good news is I control my losses. You can see here, I lost a few $100s a few times. But here's who I really want to congratulate. I'm going to write a whole blog post on this this week. Tim Grattani, my second millionaire student, just had the best month of his career. And he says this, wow, what a month, best of his career by far. Made $559,000. Look at this. He was shorting GBTC. made 112 grand. He was shorting TOPS, made 69 grand. These are all verified, by the way. This is with the, Centerpoint, the secret broker, where you need a minimum of 30,000. Email admin at timothysykes.com if you want an intro. And then E-Trade here had shares of Tops. Look at this, making 69,000, 60,000 using Cobra, then shorting Tops again, shorting BTSC. He made some on the BTSC long. XNet, he's making some money short, 29,000, BTSC short, GBTC short, GBTC short. You can see here that he's trading a lot of the same stocks over and over and over again. And guess what? GBTC, even though it's a higher price stock, I mean, this fits my penny stock pattern. And you could even make a case that all of these Bitcoin stocks, very similar to the medical marijuana stocks, which are similar to the low float stocks, which are similar to the shipping stocks, which are similar to the police equipment stocks, which ran a few years ago. Whenever you get this kind of parabolic supernova type action, 1, 2, 3 days, and then on the third day, it's very tough to hold green. I mean, this is straight out of my DVDs. Day 3, in the afternoon, you want to be short. And maybe you even want to short it in the morning of day 3 or even in the afternoon of day 2 because finding shares to short is sometimes tough. But look at this big drop here. Okay, even though this is a $1,700 stock, this thing dropped 400. Okay, imagine if right here it's at 960, but imagine if this was 96 cents. This is no different than a 96-cent stock going to $1.76 and dropping to $1.36. Okay, this is the pattern. And Tim Grittani likes going short, and he banked. He did this on GBTC, BTSC he nailed. Let me show you BTSC. This is a penny stock. Look at this. Same thing, 16 cents up to 60 cents, then you get a 50% retrace. And then if I had been on my game, but really, frankly, this wasn't a morning panic, this was an afternoon panic. So I don't like dip buying afternoon panics, but this was a nice 50% dip. And then look at this thing has bounced 30%. So you have the same kind of patterns. This is straight out of my penny stocking framework guide. I'm working on penny stocking framework part 2. My goal is to have it finished by year end. But these are the examples right here. And Tim Grittani is nailing it, and he is betting big, and he made $559,000. He's now over $5 million in profits. Look at his winning percentage, 68%. Okay? I need you guys to understand that. Look at this. This guy, B. Hall, says, holy shit, Tim, killer month. Wow, talk about motivation. Congrats. I clicked on the last 30 days a couple of times, thought it was the 90-day, but nope. 508,000. It's actually a little more than 508,000, depending on when you start. But $500,000 in a month. This is a guy who had $1,500 to his name 6 or 7 years ago when he first began as my student. Okay? So I know that it's not for everybody. I don't want you comparing yourself and being like, I have to trade exactly like Tim Grittani. I just want to show you that it's possible. Okay? In 6 or 7 years, you can make 500 grand per month. That's what I'm talking about, learning this stuff that is scalable rather than learning at a job that only pays you, weekly or monthly or, hourly. And you're never going to be able to scale up like working as a security guard or a cab driver or trainer or chef. I'm sorry to tell you, these are like hourly manual or construction worker. These are hourly manual type jobs as opposed to growing your knowledge base where then once you start trading bigger, once you have more confidence, that's when you can really get big. That's when you can grow $500,000 in 1 month versus, not to knock the manual labor or the construction jobs and stuff like that. I mean, we need those people, and that's fantastic. I wish that I was better at manual labor. My people built the pyramids thousands of years ago. It's been all downhill since. We haven't done shit manually. But we built Wall Street, we built Hollywood. The Jews, understand this stuff. And I make jokes somewhat. But I want you to understand the difference between these hourly paying jobs where no matter how hard you work, no matter how exhausted you get, you're still going to get paid pretty much the same hourly wage. Maybe you'll get like a 10 or 20 or even 30% bonus, but you're not going to grow $1,500 into $5+ million by working that stuff. And yet you can if you study enough. That's the difference here. So props to Tim Grittani, props to B. Hall and everybody else who's using this as inspiration because it's possible. Let me show you his losses too. Shoot. I have too many tabs open. these were his gains on the month, but look at this. He's lost too, okay? So don't think that it's like he's winning 100% of the time. Remember, both Roland and Tim Grattani are winning 65, 70% of the time. Same thing as me. He did lose quite a bit on XNet. He was shorting it a little too soon. ONCS he lost. Tops he lost. But again, his gains are bigger than his losses. And then I have other students too. Some of us have bigger months than others. Mark Crook, he's closing in on $1 million, made $6,000. He's at 863,000, winning 55% of the time. Okay, but he moved to Miami. He's got a beautiful family. I went to his wedding. He's got a beautiful baby now, healthy. Congrats. So 6,000 or 500,000. I know that a lot of you guys are like, well, what's the difference? You've all been Tim's top students. You're all trading. Some of us trade more aggressively at other times than others, okay? If I'm traveling, I'm not going to trade aggressively. If I'm trading with a small account, you're not going to see me make 500,000. Tim Grattani, this is his biggest month, not just because there were so many plays, but because he was available. The past few months, if you've been in the challenge chat room, he's been MIA because he moved down to the Caribbean. And frankly, with his money, he was very happy to move down to the Caribbean and just go wherever he wanted. But the Caribbean has had some massive, massive hurricanes the past few months. And Tim Grattani has kind of been like me, like traveling all over the place. He's kind of been homeless, not because of his choosing, but just because of the Caribbean and the situation there with the islands. So he hasn't really been on his A game trading-wise the past few months just because life got in the way. But now, he found his groove. He settled in. He was prepared. Mind you also, let me just show you for the entire year of Tim Grattani. There's another lesson here. For the year, he's closing in on $2 million in profits, okay? And if you ask him, I don't know the exact number of days that he's taken off, but it's quite a few. I know he took the whole month of, April off. He went to Iceland, and then he came back with another few $100,000 month. It was either March or April. And so it's not about always working every single day. You can go to Asia and build a school or a soccer stadium like me. You can go travel the world. You can, deal with housing issues and family issues, or take a month off. As long as you are studying in the background and you are prepared for when there are plays, it's pretty cool. This is not like a 9-to-5 job where you have to work hard and clock in every single day. I know some people where they study incessantly, 10 hours a day for a week, and then life gets in the way, or they take some time off and then they don't study for a week, but they're still looking for potential trades because of the studying. They're prepared. So it's very difficult to explain this. A lot of people get in the habit of earning hourly wages, and especially when you're first beginning, your friends, your family, your spouse, they're like, why are you studying so much? You're not getting paid. What is this? You're investing in the knowledge for the future, okay? And you have to think about this 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 years out. And that is what you're doing, whether you're getting experience from trading or paper trading or studying and learning the patterns from the past. It's all about being better prepared for the future. And this is so damn tough for people to understand. But thanks to people like Tim Grattani who have studied so hard and have worked so hard, and now sometimes they're taking a month off or two, and then they come back and then they freaking nail it. So I'm very proud of Tim Grattani. Awesome job. And, I'm no less proud of Mark Crook. It's not just about the money. Mark has been navigating. He's been learning. He's been controlling his losses. He's had some gains. He's still making, $6,000 on the month. And here's Michael Good, my first millionaire student. He made $5,000 on the month. Okay? So some months are better than others for different people. You can't compare, apples to apples to apples, Michael Good versus Mark Crook versus Tim Grattani. Sometimes life, sometimes our own personality, sometimes one trade can change our whole mindset. But the key is that you learn from every trade, you keep pushing forward. Notice all of these guys, whether they've had a big month or a small month, we're all making money, which puts us in the very small minority in the trading world. And more importantly, we're showing every single trade, which makes us unique in the trading world. If somebody claims to make money, show me every trade. Show me your biggest gains. Show me your biggest losses. It's not enough just to say, look, here's how you make $5,000 on the month. Here's how you make $20,000 on the month. How much did you risk to get there? Okay, I know a lot of people who eventually made money on XNet. XNet was a big crash the past few days, but they absolutely wrecked their risk management trying to make that money. Even if they eventually turned in green profits at the end, okay, but if you're willing to risk 50% of your account, or maybe I know a few people, sadly, where they're not in my chat room, but they're gunslingers and they risk their entire account. And one of these times, you mark my words, even if it's not this time, if XNet did come down, the 50% in the past few days, but one of these times, if you keep playing with fire, you will get burned. And you will get burned badly. There is a reason why I have the most number of millionaire students. And it's not because I'm the best trader or the best teacher, but because I am always prioritizing risk management and trading like a coward with every single one of my students. Even Roland, who's arguably, 4,000 into 400,000, arguably the best trader of the year percent-wise in 2017 in the world that I know of, showing every trade, alerting it in real time in the challenge chat room. But more importantly, if you ever see my commentary to him, or he went live on Instagram the other day, I was like, congrats, but keep taking it one trade at a time. Stay humble, okay? Always respect the market. Be scared. It doesn't matter how much success you've had in the past. If you let that success go to your head, if you get too cocky, the market will humble you. And I've seen too many other traders in other chat rooms who do not prioritize risk management, and they lose 50, 75, 100% of their account. And I know some people who they short sell penny stocks and they don't respect risk management and they blow up. KBIO was a few years ago. And I saw many other traders who are not in my challenge, who are not focusing on my patterns, who are not learning my cowardly techniques. They lost everything. And there was a small but vocal population online, and they said, shorting penny stocks sucks. Tim Sykes, these people are blowing up because they're trying to short penny stocks. You will blow up if you don't respect risk, okay? No different than if you take my Ferrari out for a spin in Miami and you go 300 miles an hour, or 200 miles an hour. You can't go 300 miles an hour. But if you go 200 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour zone and you're trying to turn, you will blow up. Okay, you will crash my Ferrari and you will die, and I don't want that to happen. There's a way to drive the Ferrari that's very easy. You respect the road signs. You respect the speed limit. Anything can be dangerous if you ignore rules or if you don't learn rules. So while I want you to get inspired by, people like me or Tim Grattani with his millions, or Roland with his perfect chart and now 6-figure profits, or even students who aren't necessarily profiting as huge right now. But Michael Good, don't cry for him. He's still made, over $2 million. 63% winning percentage, by the way. I hope you're learning that you don't have to be right 100% of the time, but look at his profit chart because he's controlling losses. If you don't respect risk management, if you don't listen to me, frankly, you'll be in trouble. And I can scream at the top of my lungs. I can make video lessons. I can show you my trades. I can show you my students' trades. But it's up to you to respect the rules. And the rule number one is cut losses quickly. I have several students where I don't know why it's so difficult, but they cannot seem to do it. Okay? For whatever reason, there's a million excuses. Discipline is the most important after learning the patterns. Okay, it doesn't matter how much discipline you have if you're trading the wrong stocks. But if you're trading the right stocks, if you're learning the patterns and you go in with a plan and then you stick to the plan, that's how you become a successful trader. And then you can take a month off and go to Iceland, or then you can go build a soccer stadium in Cambodia, or then you can sit in Michigan like Michael Good and, I don't know, row your little boat. He's got a little rowboat. You can do whatever you want. And that's the point that I'm trying to get you to. Utilize these scary stocks volatility. Utilize this same fucking chart pattern on all of them, whether you're going long or short for a day or 2 weeks, and pick your spots that suits your personality and your schedule and trade volatile stocks and use it to grow your knowledge, use it to grow your account over time. That's today's lesson. If you understand it, leave a comment underneath this video saying, I will trade volatile stocks. And congrats to all my top students and more. I'm sorry there's so many to congratulate these days. Those were just a few students. But Roland, $100,000 a month, awesome. Tim Grattani, or myself, $10,000 profit. Tim Grattani, on the month, freaking just, what has he done 90 days now? 90 days, not much. Oh, this is another good lesson. One more lesson before I go. So Tim Grattani, as I said, he had a $550,000 profit month in the month of November. And some of you guys are going to extrapolate that and you're going to say, whoa, 500,000 in 1 month. If he does that every month, I mean, that's what, like 6 million per year. It's not that easy. And just because he made 550,000 over 30 days, this is over 90 days. Okay? So this is 3 months worth. And now he's only made, quote, only made $613,000. So aside from his big 550,000, the other 2 months, he, quote, only made 75,000 those other 2 months total. So roughly 37,000 each month. So it can vary greatly. And you cannot just extrapolate 1 month's performance of gains. I did that many years ago when I first began, and I made roughly $700,000 in the first 4 months of the year 2000. And I'm extrapolating that, and I'm like, whoa, if I make $700,000 every 3 or 4 months, and I'm comparing myself, I'm going to make millions, and then now that I have a bigger account, I can make tens of millions. It doesn't work like that, okay? You have to take it one trade at a time. You have to take it 1 day at a time. All you can try to do is be as prepared as possible. That's your number one focus. Studying, preparing, and being ready for these volatile stocks, and then trading the volatile stocks. Because there's always going to be another crazy stock like GBTC or BTSC or XNet or GLNNF. But the sad reality is that I would estimate 80 to 90% of my students are unprepared, even if there was a perfect play tomorrow. And sometimes, I miss perfect plays, like you saw with EKSO. I made a few $1,000s on it. It really kills me that was my exact pattern and I missed it. And I'm going to feel guilty about that. And I'm going to talk to you about it because I don't want it to happen again. So next time I see that pattern, I'm going to be doubly prepared so that I'll be like, whoa, I don't want to miss it a second time. And that's what you guys need to do. The month of November is over. Okay, we're in December 2017. Soon it'll be January 2018. It'll be a new year. You cannot go back in time. But I do want you to study the past, and I do want you to use whatever emotion that you can come up with, whether you're inspired by Tim Grattani, or you're angry at him, or you're angry at me, or you're angry at yourself. Use that emotion to push yourself. The fact that I missed EKSO, again, a few $1,000s doesn't make or break me. It really doesn't matter. But I want to show you good trades. And I take pride when a pattern comes my way in being prepared. And I missed one trade, one big ass trade on EKSO. I missed a few trades last month, but EKSO was a glaring mistake for me. And I'm not whining about it. I'm trying to tell you how I'm thinking about it and how I'm going to use that going forward so that I will not make that mistake again. And that's what I want from you guys. Use every single one of these students. Use every single one of your trades. Use every single one of your missed opportunities or your screwed up trades to learn and get better over time. Think of this as a process. That is the single most important way to, improve and get better and evolve over time. Every single day, every single trade can be utilized. Every single missed trade, even if you do nothing and you just sit there and you watch a stock move without you, and then you get angry. Use that anger, okay? Every single day, if you have this mindset, can be really helping yourself in the future. Or you can just get angry and quit, or you can get angry at Tim Grattani and say, screw that guy, he has so much money, or, get angry at me. I get all kinds of emotions. But ideally, I put you on the right path to success because I find that mindset matters. And trading volatile stocks matters. So, anyways, BTSC, GBTC, EKSO, XNet, GLNNF. These are just a few examples of some of the volatile stocks that we're trading. I'll have a watch list out later tonight, but wanted to go over some top students and some top stocks. Again, if you understand what I'm talking about in this video lesson, leave a comment underneath this saying, I will trade volatile stocks. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the chat room tomorrow.